Jarrett, got to be kind of exciting hitting the road with a little bit of a win streak, a little bit of momentum, and again, guys were able to close out a game tonight.
Yeah, 2 games this week against 2 really good GNAC opponents. They kind of came down to the end, and we've been working all week on closing out scrimmages in practice and stuff like that, and working on time and score and possession. So I think it really showed up tonight and on Tuesday, and that's another good win this week, kind of going into the weekend.
There's a little something different about this team now. Leads earlier in the season kind of trickled away, and you weren't able to recover them. Both games this week, when teams have closed the gap again, you've been able to pull away down the stretch.
Yeah, we the last 2 games we've really kind of been confident in ourselves and just played within ourselves and let the game come to us. And I think it just shows our resilience and our kind of our mentality that we've had all season. Even though some games haven't gone our way, but we're always right there. We're always grinding away. And the last 2 games we've been able to kind of hold teams off and get 2 wins. So.
Tyler, a career high tonight, that's got to be a good feeling, especially when it's part of a victory.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the thing, like Jarrett said, we've just been working hard in practice and doing close scrimmages and trying to simulate that type of environment that we faced today. And I think it really showed off today and the previous one.
I want you to share a little bit. We talked, Coach Barbarick and I, on an earlier interview about you and about some of the, I don't know if battles is the right word necessarily, but you've had to kind of persevere and kind of work your way back from a lot of challenges to your career. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think my first year here, coming in as a redshirt, just kind of learning the system and understanding how this level is played. Coming from junior college ball, and then so getting that experience before even coming in to actually play in a real game. And then last year, really excited to start the year. My would have been my junior year, and went up with the knee injury. And I was out for majority of the season, which was really tough. Came back and kind of tried to fight back at the end of the season. Got a little bit of play time, and kind of just built that confidence. And I think that coming into this year, and it's really starting to come around right about this time as well.
For a better portion of your time, you've come off the bench for the Cavaliers, and I think there's that natural thought sometimes when you come off the bench, geez, I've got to make the most of my minutes. What does playing as a starter now mean for you? Do you attack the game with a little bit different perspective? Has it helped your offensive output?
I think it might have helped a little bit, but I think just getting into the flow of the game and being around the rest of these guys, making the right plays. They're making plays for me, I'm making plays for them, and I think just sharing the ball and getting everyone involved has really benefited.
Jarrett, what'll be key now, as we mentioned, you have a little bit of momentum. What do you do to preserve that, take it with you, and hopefully continue this streak on the road next week?
It's going to come down to our preparation, I think, going into next week's practices before we hit the road. We've had some really good practices this week going into these last 2 games. And so I think just getting mentally ready and keep working on what's made us tough the last 2 games, our defense, and we've been pretty good on offense as well. So I think just the next week in practice, keep working and keep just getting ourselves ready to go.
Back-to-back wins at home, always good. I want to talk a little bit about the growth of this team. In situations where you've let leads get away earlier in the season, you've had 2 now where your opponents have narrowed the gap, but you've found ways to get over the top. What's changed? What's developed in this team?
It's a great question, Todd. We just got through talking about that as a coaching staff and then sharing it with the team. And the biggest thing is we're making plays, little things, setting better screens, talking better defensively, more effort on hustle plays, second effort plays on the offensive side of it. One of the big things tonight that was, just great to see was, Hunter Sweet stepping in and taking the charge, late. It was a big defensive play. So we just really complimented our team, the little things that are making the big difference, in close ball games. And we just struggled with some of those little things early on. And it's really exciting to see the growth, starting to come together. And part of it too, Todd, is this is the last 2 ball games which we've won. It's the first time in 8 games that we've had our full team in 8 conference games. And so having everybody healthy, and that makes a big difference. Just having one guy out just changes everything, and so that's certainly been a factor.
People don't realize sometimes how that one small play like Hunter's can get just enough momentum to break the game back open toward the stretch. Another area of improvement, I think, has been in your offensive execution. You're cutting harder, you're moving the ball a lot quicker than you were before.
Being a lot more aggressive, a lot more assertive, and certainly helps when you have senior guards. Jarrett Gray is just a spectacular player, and man, I'm trying to find him another year of eligibility. But the play of Cody Starr, and especially tonight Tyler Wells. What a great game for him. A fifth-year senior, had a career high 22 points. I thought he did a marvelous job defensively, but he was really aggressive. Started out making a couple of back-to-back threes, and just you could see him playing with a swagger and a confidence tonight, and it was great to see that, especially for a fifth-year senior.
I was going to say, you can see the confidence in his stroke and his shooting as well.
Yeah.
Has becoming a starter, do you think, helped that confidence out on the floor?
Well, I certainly. Tyler had a slow start to the year, missed some practices, but he's a tough competitor, and he plays, pretty much within himself. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and there's something to really be said for young men that just come in and they compete every night, and he's one of those. He doesn't get bothered by stuff. He just stays the course, and it's really good to see him be rewarded with some success here as he winds down his college basketball career.
You get a couple of wins as well, and all of a sudden practice becomes a better place to go to. It's more exciting. You want to get there. You want to walk in the door. You want to keep working.
Well, I'll be honest, Todd, we've never had that problem, win or lose. Our guys love to practice. We structure practice competitive. We get after it. I've never been a first team, second team. We even it up and we compete. And guys hate to lose. And I think that's one of the things that I'm really proud of. That we really compete, win or lose. That Concordia Cavaliers are going to compete really hard. And it's just really nice to compete and come out on the positive side the last few games.
When you looked at this point in the schedule a little while back, you might have thought, oh wow, we get a week off, we can heal, we can rest a little bit. Do you almost wish you had another game right now with the way the team is playing?
I did say that, we're going to give them a little time. They're going to get a couple of days off here. And I said, I'm hesitant because I don't want to lose any of our mojo. But we are at the time of the semester. This week was a hard week. I had players coming in. Coach, I'm going to be late to lifting today because I got this study session. We've got this 12-page paper due, and I never forget the demands on these young men's time and how they manage themselves and how successful they are, because it's a lot with practice, lifting, study table, the academic loads that they carry, and so. I'm just really proud of them, and they're going to get a couple of days off to get recharged mentally and physically, and I think it'll be great for us as we head into next week at St. Martin's in Seattle Pacific.
How do you structure things so that you take some of that momentum with you when you hit the road a week from now?
Well, I can guarantee you when we come to practice on Monday, there's going to be a bounce in the step because we won 2 this last week, and like I said, we'll have competitive practice, and it'll give the coaches some time to really get well prepared for our next 2 opponents, St. Martin's and Seattle Pacific, and we'll have a great week of practice.